Hi, my name is Owen Pooling. I'm a first year in college and I'm a student ambassador for Niche. So, this Instagram TV video will be the topic of key points to have in your scholarship application and essay. So, I've broken down the video into 4 sections right here. I apologize for the lack of nice handwriting, but yes, this is my handwriting. It's good enough for me to read to be able to study for any exams. So the breakdowns for the sections are when looking for scholarships, what you need for your application, key points for your essay, and what not to put in it. And the last section is basically a wrap-up and any other information for your application of the scholarship you're going to apply for. Alright, so the first section, it could be one of the top 3 hardest parts of the application process, because you'll need to think about what makes you you. So you'll need to grab a piece of paper and pencil and just write down like personal traits of yourself, what makes you passionate about this career interests, what hobbies you have, what extracurricular activities you are, or even are you in the LGBTQ plus community, and so on. You have a lot more that I didn't say that you could put on that list. And then once you make that list, you also then need to go online and just look up any qualifying scholarships from your list you made to think of as, oh, I could do this scholarship because I'm really passionate about this, or I have this hobby that aligns with this scholarship. I'll keep that in notes. So once you do all of that, you'll need to make that list of scholarships that you are qualified for. So you'll need to grab another paper and just write down each scholarships you are qualified for onto that paper. Make sure to probably do bullet points so it's easy on your eyes to read. And also at the end of each scholarships, make sure to write down the due dates. And that's all. Maybe when you're done with one scholarship, you can cross it off the list. But basically, you want to keep that list, even if you've done it all, cross it all off. You want to keep it so that you can do each one next year, or each one that you can do. Some are just only for seniors, but that's okay. The others you can still apply for. So the second section is, what you need for your scholarship application. So there's a lot of scholarship applications that has different required information you need to bring or submit. Some scholarship committees need you to have a resume, while some others doesn't. If you have the option to submit a resume, make sure to submit a resume. That can only make your application stand out much more than the others. So what other information they may want you to submit that you'll need could be your school ID card. That could be from college or in high school. Or it could be any other IDs like driver identification or passport card. I don't think a lot will need that. So what other things they need is a photo of your face. It could just be a neutral face, a face of yourself smiling, but make sure it looks at least professional, natural, no fuzziness in it that they wouldn't be able to see your face clearly. Make sure they'll be able to see your eyes, and so on. Just don't make it too hard for them to try and see. Alright, and then another thing is FAFSA information. So with FAFSA information, you'll probably need to submit like a copy of your SAR information. SAR stands for Student Aid Report. So Student Aid Report is basically to help them see if you're eligible for federal student aid and all of that. And one more thing, sometimes, well, most of the times, application will need your transcripts. Some of them will need an official transcript, so you'll need to request that official transcript from your guidance counselor in high school or from the not financial aid, the registrar office in college. Otherwise, if you need the unofficial transcript, you'll probably still need to do the same thing, request the transcript and all. Alright, so that was it for section 2. So moving on to the key points for making a scholarship essay. I forgot to say, but in section 2, you'll need a killer essay. And this section 3, will be talking about how to make a good or killer essay, like the key points you need. So key points you need in it is basically to stay within the prompt. Don't venture off onto a different path from the prompt. It can just confuse you as you write, and it can confuse your it can confuse a committee reading your scholarship. That can easily scratch you off of the line if you confuse each other. Alright, and another thing is, well, when they ask you a question, don't reinstate the question prompt in the first sentence. Make sure to say something else relatable to what the prompt is asking you, but don't reinstate the prompt. When writing your essay, don't basically repeat your resume. So maybe you didn't submit a resume, but basically your essay needs to be unique in a way, not just I have these skills, I have good communication, I've done these past projects, I have these experience, I work also. You need your scholarship essay to be unique of yourself so that it doesn't seem the same as someone else's, because they're probably going to say the same thing, and that kind of seems boring, especially if they had you submit a resume, because they're just rereading that resume in your essay, and that also can have you cross off the list. So with your essay, you'll want to be personal. You want to be unique in your own way. When saying things personal, it helps you represent what your grades and your test scores couldn't show to them, because maybe your test scores aren't the best as you wanted them to be, and you're worried that because of those, the scholarship committee will just cross you off. Well, they haven't read your essay yet, and that's when you write your personal essay about your life. So when moving on from your personal essay, make sure to make it a story, basically. So for example, from those two ideas, for example, for my essay for scholarships and also my college application essay, I made sure to make it personal and almost like a story. I had the title being about the weather. So the title just represents all the personal life of being gay in the LGBTQ plus community, but being at a school with low representation and percentage of just diversity in the student body. Another thing is, so I am also Chinese, so I'm Asian American. There's not much diversity at my high school either, so I made sure to point that out. in a way that helps them connect to what I am going through in life. Lastly, I also talked about how I was born with a birth defect. That also, I made sure to make it personal and have the story about the weather to represent the storm, the lightning, the darkness inside my mind, just hiding who I want to actually be in life. But yeah, that's about it. In your scholarship essay, you do not want to use funky fonts, profanity, controversial topics, and also just repetitive words that you've been just saying. So that could be like, and so on. Just try not to be repetitive. All right, section 4, the last one. All right, so it's just a wrap up. So make sure to recycle and reuse your scholarship. I myself do that a lot because when doing a lot of scholarship, you want to keep on moving forward, but you don't want to just start from finishing one essay for application to going back to zero, because it can put a strain to your self. It can be mentally challenging too. So having just a scholarship essay you already done, and you can just reword or rewrite anything if the prompt isn't the same as the other one, it can be a big helpful factor. All right. Another thing is make sure to clean up your social media accounts. We don't know if any of those scholarship committees will look you up on social media with your first and last name and check you out. So they could read a very good professional application and they'll want to check if your social media accounts are just like that. And if they see anything they deem not professional or just any of that, they can scratch you off the list based from that. Even if you're tagged with someone else, make sure to untag those posts that you've been tagged with. All right, and lastly, well, I guess I say 2 more things. Check your spam folder in your email account. Sometimes maybe you're thinking, oh, why haven't the scholarship committee reach out to me back? It's been a week or 2 since I've done it. It probably just been in the spam folder. You just gotta make sure. And then lastly, don't give up. We're all just moving from one scholarship to the next. Keep that in the back of your mind, because while you may think, oh, I don't know, will I get this scholarship? Don't keep it in front of your mind, because you gotta keep on moving on to the next scholarship after the next, so that you have a higher chance of reaching more scholarship committees to have them see how unique you are. And later on, you'll be notified if you did or did not be a recipient of the scholarship. All right. Thank you for your time. I know it's been a long 15 minutes, but I hope you have a good day. I hope you learned some stuff, and make sure to jot any notes down you've done. Otherwise, I hope you have a good day, and goodbye.